Hey guys, what's going on? This is Shadow, and today I'm going to be bringing you a different kind of deck profile. I'm going to be bringing you my Gouki deck. Now, this is a little bit different only because, for once, this is not a Winged Beast deck. This is an actual different type of deck. And this is one of my personal favorites, other than the four decks that I usually show off. I love Goukis because of them referencing professional wrestling. And if you can guess what my favorite wrestling company is, and that the wrestling company that I watch probably the most of, congratulations, you'll get a cookie. But anyways, this is just a really fun deck. This is a little bit more budget friendly. I'm going to be showing you more of a budget friendly deck, and keep in mind the fog blades that are going to be in here and the shade brigadine. You do not have to have this in here. This is just solely for me. It's a different take on it. It's an easy way to, because you can bring out Rusty Bardiche in this deck, believe it or not. And Goukis are actually really fun because they can be fast, and all of them have the ability and the effect that if they're sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Gouki card from your deck to your hand. So you're constantly recycling them. It's always consistent, and it's always really, good to be able to keep getting those cards back to your hand after you're using them and everything. So you're always continuously having those extenders and can keep getting those plays. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. But before we do that, if you haven't please remember to comment, and subscribe to this channel. And please click that notification bell so you get any updates on any of my deck profiles, box openings, and combos and test hands. And speaking of which, I do have a booster box of the Phantom Rage coming. There were some problems with it before. So let's just say this, guys. Word of advice. If anything says like new, especially on Amazon, chances are you're not going to want it. Make sure you just get the new, or make sure you buy from either a reputable seller or by eBay, but at least make sure that it's actually wrapped properly with the Konami logo. Alright, so without any further ado, enough of my rambling. Let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Okay. Also, I want to thank any of my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. You guys are awesome, and you're the reason I keep doing these videos. And if you like, please post comments on the section below if I haven't said that before, and I always love reading those, and I will always try to respond back to you as soon as possible. Alright, so first we're going to start off with 2 copies of Gouki Rad Scorpion, or Rad Scorpio. This is mainly in here for the Gouki Headbat combo, because you want to be able to discard a card from your hand that you're not going to be using, and that you're not going to be special summoning when using like a soul. This is really good though, because if your opponent, if you control no monsters or all your monsters are Gouki, you can normal summon this card from your hand. And keep in mind that all these cards have the same ability, that when they're sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Gouki card from your deck to your hand. Now, one of the best cards in here, probably the best card in here, in my opinion, is Gouki, not, I do apologize if I butcher these names, Gouki Suprex. Gouki Suprex is basically your marauding captain. If he is normal summoned, you can special summon a Gouki monster from your hand. So that's going to definitely come in later on with your combo plays, with your link plays, and being able to get Isoul, and being able to get Appaloosa out on the field. So he's one of the most important cards in this deck. Then I got 3 copies of Gouki Twist Cobra. Gouki Twist Cobra is actually good because you can tribute a Gouki monster and increase its attack by the amount of the monster that it was tributed for. Plus it's a level 3 and it's easy to get out, so being able to tribute and get a buff on your Gouki, especially your own monsters, really does come in handy. Alright, then you've got 3 copies of Gouki Headbat. Headbat is awesome. You just discard a Gouki card to activate its effect, and you can special summon this card from your hand. So this is what I meant by having Rad Scorpio. Discard that to special summon Gouki Headbat. So that's a free special summon, and you can keep going with your plays. And then you've got 3 copies of the one Gouki Guts. Gouki Guts cannot be destroyed by battle, so he's really good. Plus he's a level 1, and I do run the Phoenix Blade in here. If you guys don't know what that is, you're going to use Isoul to dump the Phoenix Blade into the graveyard, so that way you can special summon Gouki Guts, which will give you an additional monster to be able to keep going into your plays, which is really awesome. Also, That's why those are some of the cards in here. Like I said, you do not have to run any of the cards that I do. You can run either more of a pure Gouki deck or more of a budget Gouki deck. I actually ended up getting this deck, the actual core, on eBay for about $40, and I know normally you guys get ripped off because they'll tell you that it's a competitive deck, and it's like totally not, but I ended up getting that for about $45 or so it was a good deal. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. And then the last Gouki card is going to be Gouki Octa Stretch. The Gouki Octa Stretch is actually really good. Your opponent attacks during damage calculation. It's a quick effect. You can discard this card, and the damage you take would be halved. So that's going to be it for the Goukis. Now we're going to go for the non-ones. Codebreaker 0 Day. This is going to be used to special summon from your Virus Swordsman. There, if you can see it. There you go. This is what you're going to special summon via your Codebreaker Virus Swordsman to be able to set up for your Rusty Bard each. And that's pretty much what the main thing that he's in here for. One of the combos that I actually got from a duelist, I cannot remember the name of it, was Junk Forward. Oh, it was a Dark Realm Duel. So please make sure you also like on his content and go to his channel. You guys find some really cool videos on it. I love his live duels. It's got a lot of stuff going on. Also, if you haven't checked out Star Duelist 200, check his channel out too. He's got some really cool content. He's an up-and-coming YouTuber, so please make sure you visit his channel too and like some of his videos because he does a lot of really cool work, and he just uploaded a video about all of his decks that you guys might find interesting. Alright, so Junk Forward, if you control the monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. This is a really good extender because you're going to want to be able to bring out Gouki Suprex with it, any of your monsters, and then get an additional summon, so you can have 3 monsters on the field for your Link summoning. Then I've got a copy of Phantom Knight's Silent Boots and Phantom Knight's Ancient Cloak. These are solely in here for Rusty Bard each, and also to get your Shade Brigading and your Fog Blade. Alright, that's going to be it for the monsters, guys. Let's move on to these spells and traps. Oh, but before I forget, last and least, the copy of Effect Veiler. This is going to be your hand trap for this deck. You can run whatever hand trap you want. I just like this because it negates the effects. Alright, so now we're going to run on to the spells and traps. You got 3 Gouki Rematch. This is one of the best cards in this deck, just like Suprex, because this card allows you to special summon 2 Gouki monsters from your graveyard, which that is amazing. That adds more play. It's a Monster Reborn +2 that you get off of it. So you can use this to get 2 monsters that you Link summoned for, and then keep going with the Link summon and getting the higher level ones like the Link 4, like Giant Ogre, or getting Power Load Ogre, or Master Ogre. And it's just really good to be able to have these. Or to be able to use Borreload Savage Dragon. Alright, I've run 3 copies. If you want to speed this deck up a little bit faster, you can run 3 copies of Double Summon. Double Summon allows you to have an additional normal summoner set that turn. So you can additionally have another summon to be able to set up for your plays. And then you're going to have 1 Reinforcements of the Army. 1 Warrior Returning Alive. You guys know what that does. Warrior Returning Alive brings a monster back from your graveyard and adds it to your hand. And Reinforcements of the Army allows you to search your deck for a level 4 warrior type monster and add it to your hand, which is the main purpose of this deck. Everything in here minus Effect Veiler is a warrior type. Okay, and then you've got 1 copy of 1 for 1. 1 for 1, discard a card or monster card to special summon a level 1 from your hand or from the deck. That odds Goku Guts or Octo Stretch. Then you get 1 Monster Reborn for obvious reasons. And then this is the Phoenix Blade card I was talking about. Phoenix Blade, you play Isoul, and you add a monster from your deck to your hand, but you also will dump this into the graveyard, which will allow you to special summon a level 1 monster from your deck. You can banish a monster from your graveyard to bring this back from the field and equip it to a monster to increase its attack by 300, which you can do that, but mainly this is how to bring out Gouki Guts or your Octo Stretch. And then Harpy's Feather Duster for backfield destruction, and then Dark Hole. The reason I run Dark Hole in this deck is because instead of Raigeki, Dark Hole destroys everything on the field, which you are going to want, you want your monsters to be destroyed, because when they're sent from the field to the graveyard, that's when they start activating their effects. So as long as you do that, you're good, and you can also keep getting those plays and keep going with your extenders. Alright, so now we're just going to move on to the traps, and there's only 3 traps in here. The Fog Blade for the negates, and then the Shade Brigading for that additional level 4, so you can keep going with your plays. And that's going to be it for the spells and traps, guys. Let's move on to the extra deck. Now, this is just personal preference. You can run, as long as you're running Isol, Isol, Bow of the Goddess, Appaloosa, Rusty Bardiche, and Virus Swordsman. You're good, and you can run whatever kind of Gouki you want. So I'm just going to show you what I have. So I've got the Gouki the Great Ogre, which becomes unaffected by card effects. So does Gouki the Power Load Ogre. Gouki the Master Ogre, which he has a quick effect once per turn. I can return to the hand any number of Gouki monsters that I control that this card points to, and target the same number of cards my opponent controls, and they have their effects negated. So a lot of these cards do either negate the effects, or they will power themselves up, or they're unaffected by card effects. Then I've got 2 copies of Gouki Thunder Ogre. Gouki Thunder Ogre is awesome. If monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or by a card effect, you can make this card gain 400 attack, and the turn applies the following effect once per turn. During the main phase, they can normal summon a set of monsters the card points to, in addition to the normal summoner set. So you can have an additional normal summon or set when you have it as long as the card is pointed to that. I've got 2 copies of Gouki the Great Ogre. Haha, yes, I know. A lot of people say this is a competitive card, but this is actually a really, really good card and a really good, strong card to bring out, especially if it's your turn and your next turn. If you've already run out of... This is a good late-game card, because if you've already run out of your Appaloosas and you've already played your Rusty Bardiche and all that stuff, this is a really good card, because all monsters on the field lose attack equal to the original defense, which is just really deadly. There's a lot of monsters out there that have high defense, and he's going to cut their attack. And this card, if this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one of your monsters this card points to instead. So he's like Cyber Slash Harpy Lady, to where he can destroy a Harpy card instead, which you guys know that, and that's really, it's just really, really good to keep up with that, so it can prevent you. So if you've got like a random like Gouki Guts, or you've got a random Gouki monster left over from your combo from the last turn, just use him, and you can destroy your monster instead for it. Then you've got 2 copies of Gouki Jet Ogre. This is just mainly in here because it's a Link 2, and it's a good way to get into the higher level Link monsters. And then for the non-Gouki ones, we're going to have Isol, Tale of the Noble Knights. You can run 2 if you want. I only think running 1 is beneficial enough. When this card is Link summoned, you can add a monster from your deck to your hand, a warrior monster from your deck to your hand, but keep in mind that that monster cannot be normal summoned, special summoned, or set that same turn, which is the reason why I told you to get Rad Scorpio if you haven't, and make sure you have a Gouki Headbat when you get a monster from your graveyard and you get a Gouki card and add it to your hand. Make sure you add those 2, that way you can discard the Rad Scorpio to special summon the Headbat, and you don't have to worry about it. And then you've got Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess, for the negates, because believe it or not, you can get 4 negates on her pretty easily in this deck. Then you've got a copy of Phantom Knight's Rusty Bardiche. This is to pull out the Phantom Knight's Shade Brigading and pull out the Fog Blade. Then I've got Virus Swordsman. Virus Swordsman is what you're going to use when he is co-linked, because he only costs 2. This is how you get out Rusty Bardiche. You use him. When he's co-linked, he special summons the Codebreaker 0 Day from your deck or hand. So that way you have 2 dark monsters, so that way you can go into Rusty Bardiche. And then last but not least, this is completely optional. Just Bomber Dragon, because Bomber Dragon destroys everything on the field. So that allows you to get your Gouki monsters into the graveyard. You don't have to play this. You can play like Borreload. You can play Savage Dragon if you can get like a tuner in there and stuff. It's just, you can play whatever you want. This is just personal preference. I just like Bomber Dragon because Bomber Dragon can destroy stuff on the field, and he wipes the entire field. So it's like a dark hole, and that can be beneficial not only to me, but also a disadvantage to my opponent. Alright, that's going to be it for the extra deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a really fun deck to actually show, because it was different. It's usually, I always show the Winged Beast decks, and it was nice to be able to show the Gouki deck. Out of all the warrior types next to Noble Knights, I think Goukis are probably my favorite, because they reference so many like wrestling references. It's basically like it is wrestling, And I didn't watch too many Vrains. I actually am not really a big fan of Vrains because I thought the main character was kind of dry and just like not really well fleshed out. And it was sad because Angel and then the guy who played with the Gouki, the deck and stuff, they were both really good characters. And actually, every character in the series, in my opinion, was great, but the main character. But that's just my personal opinion, so don't dislike or comment or anything like about that, just because that's just my personal opinion. I just didn't like him. Alright, so that's it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have, a Phantom Knights booster box opening coming soon, the next couple weeks or few weeks or so stay tuned to that. And I'm going to be working on, doing a deck profile of my Smorg deck profile, so now it'll be actually updated from the last time that I did it. So I did change a few things around. It's a little better, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and with that, see you guys next time. Later.